What's going on, guys? How's it going? Welcome to the Friday edition of whatever this is. Welcome to me endlessly plugging away on my game. Uh, Once again, thanks for you guys that want to join in and just watch me go endlessly into the development process. Um, what's going on, guys? Tons of crazy stuff happening for me behind the scenes, but I won't bore you with that. Let's see. So I am still here in LA, plugging away, and I am here once again at Blue Screen Gaming. See if I can point to that. Maybe somewhere up there. Thanks again, David, for helping me get set up here using one of his boxes, because as you guys may have seen before, my laptop was so not up to the challenge. But everything is pretty much configured nicely, and let's see, big difference tonight. I actually have the blackjack game up, so if any of you guys want to give that a try, I did fix that little bug that we found a couple nights ago. Technically, it was actually working. It's when they hit blackjack, it wasn't updating the text, but it actually was giving the value. So, in theory, the game is actually working. So, yeah, so if you guys want to give it a try, just right now I have it configured for Twitch chat. Later on, I'll try and get it set up for Mixer, maybe even the YouTube chat as well. But right now, it is just Twitch chat. So just if you want to play, just type in ! blackjack, and boom, you'll get started. Speaking of getting started, all right, so what we're trying to do before, if you remember, was I was trying to get the mascot characters configured. I kind of foolishly hard-coded just the base character in the game originally. So right now, the way it comes up, actually it may come up, yeah. So when I hit like one player, boom, I get these guys. So so there's the default mascot character. So that was working okay. Except actually when I tried to do an online game, I did break something, but we'll come back to that later. What I'd like to do is try and see if I can make it load the other characters first. So let's go ahead and jump in my mess that is game controller. So when you look at this code, for those of you guys that are actually real coders out there, you know, you're going to laugh hysterically. I know you guys do, considering this one game controller program itself is all of 8,000 lines of code, which is not the appropriate way. But this is also 3 years worth of development. 3 years worth of me improving and learning how not to do things. But, you know, you're so far down at this point. I mean, you know, 3 years in, it's like I could stop down and redo this and clean it up. But considering it is just me, and I kind of know where all the stuff is. I know where all the bodies are buried, usually. So usually I can jump in and actually still get what I need. But the good news is my next game will not have 8,000 lines of code in one script. I'll be doing it in a much more appropriate fashion. But for the time being, I will leave this as is and just kind of suffer through. So let's go like this. Let's check out the mascot. Alright, so then he's down here. Good. Alright, so what I was doing before was I was testing just see if I can bring up like a different one. I had hard-coded it. Mascot 1 would be the character that pops up currently, but what I'm going to do is actually hard-code this to Mascot 2, and I'm going to do that for... Actually, I could try and get away with this by actually doing the other one as Mascot 3, so I could do 2 bursts with 1 hit of the play button. So let me... boom. Let me come over here, try this. I'm going to change that to 3. Alright, so I know this won't work on the online version, but I'm going to hit play on this. And, oops, I'm already getting an error. Check it out. Oh, don't care about that. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. So you can get a coroutine. So you can have a script that kicks off a coroutine, but if the script disables itself and the coroutine still has life, it'll trigger an error, which is kind of interesting. It's almost like, you know, the equivalent of a dead man killing himself or something. Sorry. Uh, let's see. Yep, totally not happy with that. So it should... Oh, you know what? I may have not actually set up... Let me bring this a little over. Sorry, that's kind of going off the page here. I may not have set up the blue yet. I think that is the case. If so, the blue mascots. I think I may only have the red mascots set up at the moment. And if that is the case, I will correct that now. Let's see. Let me dig over here. Kind of in the tight space right here, trying to make use of the real estate I have and still have a little room here on the side for the blackjack and my little webcam. So I'm a little squished, but I can still pull this off. I still got to figure out a good layout. I'm not happy with this, but I want to make the blackjack big enough that people can see it. So yeah, that's something I'll figure out on a different time, but not today. All right. So what I want is down here. So my guess is that I have, yeah. Oh, hey, actually I only have the 1 and 3. Okay. So, interesting. So I have that. And I have mascot 1. So, alright, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to duplicate him. Oops. Great. Duplicated the folder and not the character. Mascot 3. There we go. Duplicate him. I'm going to drag him over onto the blue side. Rename that as mascot 3. Alright. Drag him out here because what I want is this to actually not be the red character but the blue character. So red dwarf red, I want dwarf blue. There he goes. Instant blue guy. Save that prefab. Nuke him out of orbit. Okay. So I have 1 and 3. So I guess let me just, instead of doing the 2, I'll do the 3. There. Now it should be able to load, and in theory I might get the 2 little Gimli dwarf characters to pop up here as soon as it finishes compiling. Actually, let me get that. I'm going to bring it up a little bit so I can actually see the bottom of the screen there. There we go. Cool. Alright. So, 1 player. Boom. There they are. Nice. That's exactly what I wanted to do right there. Alright. So, I know this is going to break if I actually try and do this in the online game. Ooh. Look at the shadow. I got to fix that, don't I? Alright. So I think, so if I try and do this in an online game, I think it actually breaks, and that's probably just because it's not getting the values sent back and forth yet, at least not correctly. In theory it should, but when I tried this 2 days ago, it blew up. So I'm going to do this knowing it's going to die, but let's do this. Wait for it, wait for it. That's going to go, boom, right there. Okay. And he's interesting. Okay. Oh, because I got it. Interesting. I got it versus instead of. Oh, so there it is. Found it. Show versus menu. Okay. Wow, and that was in the main menu. Okay, that was poor choice on my part. I should have actually had that in the game controller window and not. Okay, so I found the culprit. This is good. So once again, I had the character hardwired to the versus blue warrior when I just had the little warrior character dropped in by default, but I needed to purge that out and make it modular so I could load in any of the 5 different villager characters that you can choose from. But that's good. Now I know where the bad guy is here. Now, next question is, I wonder if the show versus menu gets called before the data actually gets loaded. Crud. Okay, I'm gonna have to test that, but yeah, so if that's getting displayed first, I may have to do some workaround, but so I know I can load him. I guess I will focus on this tonight. So first thing I'm gonna do is actually knock this code out. for the Warriors, since I know that's not going to load correctly. But what we want to find out is if this is getting called before the data gets exchanged in an online game. So what I do is just do a couple of debug log messages here. Now, there you go. So get that, and now I get to see which one kicks off first. The game controller. Mascot Val here, and I know I got this at second place, so there he goes. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting little concept here to figure out. If I'm lucky, the mascot characters get called first before the versus menu pops up, because then I can just configure it correctly. But my fear is that that menu is going to pop up long before I actually load up the characters. So let's find out. Oop, do that. I'm gonna have to give myself more coins in a second, aren't I? I'm running out. Okay, yeah. Show versus menu. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, it never even... Wow. Why is it not hitting? Okay. Find red mascot. Transform 0. Alright. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Oh, man. Okay. So, yeah, so the main menu, the versus menu, is popping up long before I'm actually exchanging the data. So I'm going to have to kind of rethink that process, I think. Man, that's not an easy solution, unfortunately. Okay. So, yeah, this guy's just left over. I don't think I know I did load him. Mascot 3. Okay, he did load. And then it hated this. Now, why would it not red mascot object? Unless it already hid that. Oh, it probably did. Okay. Yep. So this is the downside of doing an evolutionary kind of way of development, is that certain things you set up at the time work nicely, but then when you try and actually make it modular, it breaks big time. Okay. I can do this. I just gotta think of a way to do it cleanly. So if finding opponent, okay. So let me see. Let's see. Bum bum bum. Okay, actually I think that's gonna be under my networking. So we come into my scripts here. So let's see. Let's see. Some challenge. Or maybe it... Alright, let me find out where I need to head to here. Let's go 2D. Boom. Zoom in here. There we go. Alright, select online, and that's from the main menu. Okay. Okay. So yeah, and it's already doing the hide there. So that's why it had that error, because I'm actually telling it to hide the menus. Oh no, yeah. Oh no, that's main menu island. Okay, no. That's totally cool. So, but what I want is... Okay, show versus, coming opponent, cassette. Okay, so then if we're not finding anyone, go with AI, so then show, okay. Start local game. Alright, so let me try and reverse this. If I start the local game before I try and share the main menu, maybe in theory... Oh, no, no, no. Actually, no, I need, Really? Start local game. Alright, the way I actually start... start local game. Okay. Alright. I see what I'm doing here. So let me think about this, how I want to... Select local. Okay. So this will work at least when going up against the AI, who can fill in when there's not another human available. So that way I should actually have the... Okay. Sorry. Having to think this through on the fly. Okay. Bump. Yes, we're simulated, so bump. So that's... Okay, you know what? I think it's actually when I'm... I did this bad thing. I think it's when I'm actually loading up the characters. That's good. That's cool. Select active. Power up. Okay, that's fine. There's buttons. Yeah. Okay. Once again, the evolutionary version of the game is now completely biting me, because I think what happens is the game actually, the initialization of the game gets triggered by getting the pieces placed. Prep for launch. Yeah. Not good. Not good. Alright. You know what? I gotta bring my coders in. Where are my coders? Oh, crap. I forgot it's just me. Okay. So... okay, so... No, that's not. Actually, I want. I think it's. Start game countdown. There we go. Okay. But that's actually not. Yeah. Yeah. So that's my. Alright. Boom. Select demo game. Ah, man, I have it on all the other ones. Okay. Yeah, and this is tutorial. And wait for place buildings. Is that where I'm going to? Yeah, okay, it's red selected. That's where it's getting me. If not, skip countdown. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a big rethink on this. I'm afraid, because it worked fine before when it was just loading the stuff and then firing up and starting the game instantly. But now with that, the menu. You know what? I hate to say it. I may have to actually just go back to cranking out some poses in Maya again, because I'm gonna have to sit down, I think, over the weekend and really rethink my process here. A lot more I can do in the next hour and a half, I think. Wow. Yeah. Okay, well, I'd like to say that it was just because my game plan went wrong, but actually I didn't have a game plan. The game has been a total evolutionary process, and that's the downside to, I guess I call it the spaghetti coding, right? We just kind of make it up as you go along, throw it on the wall and see if it sticks. But that one's kind of hurt me now, because I got to really back up on this and actually come at this in a different way. So, you know what? I may just have to stop this for the moment. Maybe just fire up the Maya again. Yep. And do some more character poses. Oh no, but I don't have Lightwave on here, do I? Hey. Uh-oh. I didn't think about that. Even with that, I could do the poses, but I'm not going to be able to... I could do it and just... more challenge here. So I could do the poses, but I can't render them because I don't actually have my Lightwave software with me. I got it on my laptop, but I don't know how to actually... Yeah, I can't really integrate that into my stream. Not on the fly, so... Another roadblock. Man, okay. Let's see. Got that plugged in. So let's go to my computer. Go to my little thumb drive here. Source, scenes. So, yeah. Let me think. Yeah, let me do this. Let me proceed. Because I definitely need the weekend to make those scripting changes. I definitely need some serious hours to come at that with a new approach. So, let me just go this. Alright, so I did the dwarf. I think I did the icon poses for him. I did. So that's good. And then we did the female... we did the female character, the female warrior, ogre. Okay, we haven't done that. So I guess I'll go ahead and start doing some ogre poses. So in case someone's watching and doesn't know what I'm talking about, so one of the few elements I still need to add into the game is a customization concept where you can update your characters. You get the little warrior character by default, right? And then you can eventually unlock the other characters to use in the island. But another thing that I have too is these icons, right? So you can like, I'm gonna have like 5 poses for each character, and then you can unlock the other icons and just kind of personalize it. So that's what I was trying to generate. Let's see, I may actually have those renders with me so I can show you the previous ones. Let's see if I do. Source scenes. Nope. I may not have that. Let's see. That might be on the laptop as well. Oh man, sorry. When you're out in the field, you think you got everything you need, but you don't. You ever do that? You get like, okay, totally prepared. I got all the stuff, double checked, and then you set up, and the one thing you forgot is the one thing you need, right? Okay. Well, I can at least load up the scenes. Do that. I'll do the dwarf character. Icon poses. So I can at least show the poses. Not the render version, but at least the way I set it up in Maya. So I'm using Maya LT, which you may or may not know, but Maya LT has no rendering capabilities. It's designed for primarily just for animation of video game characters, which is great, and then you can just export the character out either as an FBX or an OBJ, and then bring it over into the other program, which I don't have installed here. I use Lightwave for my rendering, and don't have it here. So let me go ahead and, oops, you know what? Let me, oh, it is selectable. Okay. And it tends to want to drop the textures, which is kind of annoying. And doubly funny because it actually has the proper path to it. Oh, no, it doesn't. Actually, it didn't this time. Okay, let me repoint it. Source scenes. Oh, nope. Actually, I got to do it. I forgot. Have to do it from my actual game project. No big deal. Images. Middle Ages. And this is the dwarf. Oh, love the red. There's my UV texture for the dwarf. There he is. Alright. So they have this. So I got like, that's just the, obviously the base T-pose right there. And then we have like, oh, let me hide the controls for a second. There we go. So we got like little happy pose. The rendered icon pose I think I did kind of like from this angle. And then I got this one where he's like angry and yelling. I think this one I did more from like this angle. I believe so. And then I got like this one where he does like the little salute. It was a goofy concept. I was just trying to find something that was like, I wanted the first character to do a salute, and I just arbitrarily did like the little thumb against the forehead, and it cracked me up. So now I'm doing that same salute for all of the middle-aged characters, the Middle Ages. You know what? Actually, this might be a older save because I'm actually missing a couple of the poses, so I can't show you all 5. But yeah, the characters have 5 different poses. I can bring up, I tell you what, I'll bring up the male warrior character, or maybe the female warrior. How about that? Icon poses. I know she's got to have all 5 of the poses, so I can show you those. It's thinking. It's coming off the thumb drive, so it takes a second to load. Although I'm getting spoiled by this solid state drive. For anyone that actually watched my broadcast when I'm back home, you guys know how my machine has notoriously been just completely locking up, usually after about like 1 hour broadcasting. So I vowed that once I get back home, I'm going to actually rebuild. Not rebuild, but just build. I'm going to go with a new machine. I'm finally going to dump hard drives for solid state drive, which is overdue, I know, but yep, I think it's time now. Alright, so where's my... here she is. Okay. Did I click it? It's thinking about it. Hello. Uh-oh. Did I just make Maya go bye-bye? I was just clicking on the texture. That was enough to... Really? Oh, there it goes. Wow, I just had to think about it for 20 minutes. Okay. Hey, but Lisa brought me back to here. That's good. There we go. Alright, let me hide the controls again. Boom. Sweet. Okay. Once again, there's my T-pose. Start off with the generic T-pose. Oh, wow. Did I break that too? Look at that. Let's see. Oh, I may have actually started at this point. So let me check my controls. Yeah, okay, good. This is just a generic transition. This is the first frame. There you go. So there's that little goofy salute. So I did it much tighter. So the render was kind of like I think like this. So I came with this goofy idea of like, you know, like this. I don't know. It's just something silly. And here she is, just getting all angry, doing a big old arr growl. And I think this one actually did as a top-down render. So she's like maybe like this. Once again, I don't have the renders with me, unfortunately, but I'm pretty sure I did something at that angle. And then the agony of defeat pose. And there's another happy pose. It's kind of similar. Let's see. Oh, that was like a yell. Okay. Yeah. I didn't notice that. I'd have to look at the renders. I must have done a totally different pose to make it radically different, but I guess that's more of a yell than a happy cheer. So, there you go. So that's what I've been doing before, and I was trying to jump back into some coding, but like I said, since that one's going to be a beefy bit of fixes, I will avoid that for tonight, and I will come back over and let me load up. Let's go over. Oops, let me go. Oh, one more here. There we go. Come over to the ogre. Let me see, idle high res. All right. And as I mentioned before, I have two different versions of the characters. I have high-res character versions that I use for that the mascot for the opening and closing parts of an online game, and then I have like a low-poly version which run around the island in real time during the game. So can I select Geo? Nope. Let me select Geo. Get that texture going. Hey, it didn't freeze. Ogre red. There we go. Alright. Yeah, so this is just the standard idle pose. Alright. So I'm going to use that. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and save this. Excuse me. New folder. And I call these icon poses. Icon poses. So what's going on with you folks out there? Aside from being a nice Friday night, you guys out there doing something interesting instead of sitting in front of a computer? Okay. Let me turn the lock back on the Geo. Select the controls and kill all these keys. Delete. Come back to here, and then if I zero all these values out, you should go back to a T-pose like that. Done. Okay, let's play. So I could actually add the hammer since it's here. I'll think about that. Make for some interesting icon poses, I think, if I have the hammer in there. Okay, I'm gonna save that just so I have my default, and I'll come out to the first frame. See if I can start with a angry, something mean and angry. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to my Logitech device since I work better with Maya with my I think I've pointed this out before, but you know, uh, David here at the Blue Screen Gaming was asking me, it's like, do you actually use this? And it's like, yeah, but not for games. I tried it, doesn't do much for me for games, but for Maya, absolutely love it. I got it so configured. Where I'm working at here in Culver City on my freelance animation job, I tried to ask them to set it up, and unfortunately, that idea crashed and burned. So I would say I'm at least officially 20% slower in Maya because I have to revert back to the keyboard, and I'm so used to using this tool. It's like, you know, second nature to me that I'm definitely slower. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's all about the Logitech. Nice to have it back working again. All right. So let's play with this a little bit. Just gonna start. I have a general idea of what I want him to do, but nothing in stone yet. So I'm gonna just kind of goof around for a second here. Once again, if you guys saw the stuff I did before, this is kind of arbitrary because I don't. My LT doesn't actually have a proper camera view since there's no rendering. So I can do a pose in here that I think looks really good, but then when I bring it over into my rendering program, in this case Lightwave, and I look at it, I usually have to do that back and forth routine where I kind of tweak it and that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, I don't have Lightwave set up, so I'm going to have to just come up with what I think is maybe a close thing and just be happy with it for the time being. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. And once again, I got the arm set up as IK instead of FK. Not ideal for most animators, but for me it's just good because I can work really fast. And since these are short, these are just one frame poses, but also the animations I've been doing have been very, very short things, so it's just the IK I think expedites the process a bit. A little tougher to get the best refinement, I know, but it's just, in this case, I go speed over refining tools. Let's see, maybe kick the helmet back a little bit. I can. Alright, not doing much for me yet. I'm going to push it really far. Can I get the body torqued a bit? Let's see. Maybe start off with a... yeah, let me try a clenched fist on this side. And then maybe try and hold the hammer on his left hand. I'll experiment. Alright, I have to clean this up. The fingers are a little off-centered when they were modeled, so as a result, I can't just bring them straight down and have them go perfectly in line. I have to kind of come back in and tweak them. And if you've watched me a bit, you know I like to do this where I get these guys in place, and then I kind of like bring these guys up a little bit, so I just get the center fingers up a bit higher, kind of like that, just to separate it from the index and the pinky finger. Do like that. There we go. Boom, tuck that in. That's pretty good. That. All right, now we get the thumb. Something like that. Yeah. Let's see. I have my controls for a second. Let me see. Alright. Let me see how far I can actually mess with this mouth. Oh. Okay. Yeah. It's not exactly perfect, but that's something I could go into Photoshop and actually paint that rather than doing any rig changes, I think. But I like the extension. Let's see. Yeah. Alright. yeah, I'm still kind of guessing here because, like I said, I'm not going to be able to do a render unless I stop down and actually try and get Lightwave installed on here. Let's see, you know what? I guess I could at least get like the demo version. Maybe I could do that. I could still work and maybe Lightwave 3D. So I can at least look what the renders might look like. Yeah. Bear with me 1 second here. Sorry. There we go. Nope. Okay. Yep. All right. Let me let me figure out which one I want here. Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and download it. I can at least do the render, or at least I can look what it looks like, and even if I can't get it to officially save out, because I don't know if I can actually get the, I don't know if I can get it fully installed, so I may be able to just set up the scene, but I may not be able to render it. But at least we'll get to see what it looks like. So, oh, that was fast. Alright, so let me install, if that's going to come up. Did I double click? I thought I double clicked. Didn't it look like I double clicked? Oops. Alright. Do it want to load? Windows cannot. Interesting. That's it. Okay, that's a funky. Destination file cannot be created. Wow. What's up with that? Okay. And then it won't let me make it go away. Alright. Wow. Alright, I broke something. My name is not Ralph, but I think I just wrecked the internet. Okay. Let me try that again. See if I get my downloads. Oh, maybe it's a zip file, so it just doesn't like the fact that I was trying to do the executable from the zip file. So let me try it that way. See if it's happy. Almost there. It's thinking about it. Maybe. That's not. Look at that. We were like going so fast, and then it just kind of trailed off. Come on. You can do it. There he goes. Alright. So double clicked, and we'll see if it wants to install now. Oh, so much effort for so little payoff. Alright, are you doing anything? I'm about to throw in the towel on this Lightwave idea, because it does not want to seem to start up. Come on, NewTek. You make me look bad. Hey! There you go. Bring this over here. Yeah, accept. Blah, blah, blah. Yep. Typical. Yes, you can associate with Lightwave scenes and Lightwave objects because no one else is going to touch them. I'm sorry, what's that mean? Ah. That's nice. Yes, I was done a Lightwave, not Maya. It's actually a freaky thing. That little video right there. He shows the eye looking around and then it zooms out and you just see it's like a chunk of head just kind of floating there. It's a little creepy. And it still looks more realistic than Rachel did in the Blade Runner remake. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? I wanted to like that. Like the movie. I don't know if you guys seen the Blade Runner remake, but I thought it was really good. I mean, that's a hard one to make a sequel to, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to fire up Lightwave here so I can actually do a render. Okay, that's good. Yeah, okay, fine. Alright, now in theory, I now have, on my desktop, I should be able to, alright, let's see what we get here. Yeah, so I'm in discovery mode. That's fine. Let me shrink the screen a bit. But I still may be able to load stuff I did previously. I think I have those with me. 3D oops, where's my, there we go. Okay, boom. Alright, let me get this reorganized. Okay, so if we go source, scenes, characters, Middle Ages, dwarf, icon poses, export. Yes, there he is. I can show you. Yeah, switch it. Yeah. Oh, I gotta point everything. I got most of the stuff moved over onto my little thumb drive, but not everything. So I gotta documents. I gotta repoint some of this to my. Oops, that's not documents. It's desktop. To my Unity project file. So assets, images, Middle Ages. There we go. Should be, if I do that, should be okay. No, it's messed up. Oh well. That's good. That's good enough. So VPR, that's what I was shooting for. Okay, there you go, guys. So there he goes. So I can at least get a better sense of what my ogre is going to look like rendered. But what I'm going to do here is, and I'm probably not going to be able to save this, am I? Save scene as, nope. Okay, you know what? Let me grab my license. I wasn't going to do that, but I guess I will. So let me exit here. Hopefully we'll do this without getting too upset. Desktop. And layout. Let that come up. Continue. I think I have to restart it now. Let's see. Success. Sweet. Now I can actually do a proper render. Okay, that went faster than I thought it would. I should have done that in the first place, I guess. Okay. So let me come back here. What I want to do is actually just use a previous scene. Since I already had some lighting and stuff set up that was pretty decent to begin with. So let me come back to the source, scenes. Actually, I don't have my to-do list on there, do I? No, of course not. Okay. Scenes, characters, Middle Ages. Let's see, do I want... Yeah, I'll just load female character. Icon poses. Export. There you go. Alright, so I'm going to load the scene up so I can have this with my default lighting setup. I was thinking about it. It's loading all this stuff off the thumb drive, so it'll take it just a second. Maybe. Alright. Or maybe even longer. What's up with that? I didn't think it would take that long. Alright. Tuck him away. This layout. Interesting. Objects. Huh. Okay, it's acting like it didn't load it. Let's try that again, shall we? Load scene. Characters, Middle Ages. Warrior. Unless I... Oh, did I grab the object? I may have actually grabbed a LWO, not the Lightwave scene. Might be my fault there. Let me try that again. Icon poses, export. Okay. Yeah, that's what I did wrong. Alright, that one was on me. Sorry, New Tech. That was not your fault. There we go. Cool. Alright. Turn that back off. So now what we're going to do is save this. Boom. And now we're going to do an ogre. Icon poses. New folder. Export. Export. And we'll say base lighting. GHTING. Base lighting. There we go. Cool. Alright. Good. Now I can actually pose it legitimately. Oops. If I can get back to Maya. There's Maya. And let me bring Lightwave back up again. Alright, so I'm going to be toggling between Lightwave, Maya, and then Lightwave's modeler as well. But let me come back to Maya. Alright. So then what I'm going to do is... let's see. Start. I think what I'll do is actually not parent constraint the hammer to his hand. I think I may just keyframe it in position so that way I can do a couple different poses in the different frames and not have to worry about multiple parent constraints getting goofy on me. So what I'm thinking is if it's like that, that might be good like that. He's doing R. There you go, and then get this hand in a gripping position, and I'll drop the hammer in there. Alright, oops, let me switch back to my Logitech so I can go 20% faster. Alright. Alright. I forgot to look. Okay. Actually, this is like going off on a diatribe, but Aquaman. Does Aquaman open... Aquaman movie. Does it open this weekend or is it next weekend? Oh yeah. Opens the 20th? On Tuesday? Oh, you know what? Okay. You know, they did that Amazon thing, didn't they? That goofy... Yeah, if you're like an Amazon member. Alright. Never mind then. I'll come back to that later. It's my 6 degrees of separation, working in the industry as long as I have. I kind of got a connection there, but I'll not deal with that now. I'll wait till the movie actually comes out, and I'll talk about that later. Let me clean up some stuff here real quick. Pardon me one sec. Just doing a little housekeeping. Done. Alright, now we're back at it. Oops. There we go. What's going on? Sorry. Okay. I'm going to bring this thumb down in preparation. I'm going to drop the hammer in his hand here in just a second. Start with something like that. There we go. And then, so the hammer, I think I have... Let me bring up panels, orthographic, outliner. That's what I wanted. I think I have it set up. Do I not have a controller for the hammer? I thought I did, but because I didn't use it in the taunt animations, I may have actually never done a proper... I guess I didn't. Let's see. Joints are there, so... Hammer joint. Oh, there we go. Okay, I do have a joint for the hammer, so let me use that. So I can keyframe that joint. And drop this in place. Like so. There we go. Let me hide the ground so I can see underneath. Yeah. Alright. Something like that. I may want to tilt him back like that. Let's see, hammer joint. Okay. There we go. Alright, so I think this looks good, but I won't know until I actually toss it over in Lightwave and do a render for it. So let me select this geo, do file, export selection. We'll export it as an OBJ. I could do an FBX, but it's a little cleaner. Lightwave likes OBJs better, so let's see. This is ogre icon pose A. There you go. And so what, I'm also going to fire up, since I'm here, I'm going to fire up the Lightwave modeler as well. And that's a little full screenish. Let me adjust this. There we go. Okay. So I got this base lighting. There we go. So now I can actually save this as ogre pose A. Although I may recycle this scene, I'll still call it A. I'm gonna swap out this character. Oh, hitting Q. 20 years of using Lightwave. I have all my shortcuts set up, but since I just downloaded this, it's not gonna know all my shortcuts, is it? Okay, so I gotta do this. Replace with object. Okay. This is ogre. Icon poses, export ogre A. Okay. That's fine. He's a little out of place right now, but we'll be fixing that in a second. Something like that. I think I was going to do it over on this side. Yo. Yeah. Alright. So the key issues that you can see right now is, well, he's dark, he is flat shaded, and he is jaggy because he's a relatively low poly object. But easy ways to fix that. What we're going to do is first is save him as a Lightwave object. Save current object. And save it. Save. No, I don't want it. I want to do a file. Save. Actually, I want to save it. All files. That's interesting. See if that actually worked by changing the extension on the back end. I wanted to save it as a Lightwave object. Down here, source, Scenes, characters, Middle Ages, ogre. Icon poses, export. See if that worked. It did. Cool. Okay. Oh, I got some. Let me see how many I got that are. Go polygons. It says I have 10 of them. All right. So I was trying to do a subdivided surface concept, and it doesn't like it when a polygon has more than 4 sides, 4 points attached to it. So I'm gonna take these guys. There you go, and just do a triple and smooth. Ooh, that may not work. That's a whole bunch of ugly. Okay, I may have to tweak him a bit more. Do I have bandsaw? Oops. Oh, I may have to rethink that. Let's go. I wonder if we go ugly, if we go, let me do it this way. Let me try it as grab everyone. Okay. Doesn't want to let me do that because these other guys are still there, so fine. I will triple them. That's really not what I wanted to do, though. Smooth. See where that gets us. It's a little hard edge, but it's still better. Ooh, that mouth is still kind of ripping itself apart. Let me just do some tweaking here specifically. Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright. I may have to do some actual modifying on this character to get these poses done. Let's see. See if I can just finagle this a little bit more. Trying to avoid going all the way back to doing that. Let's see. Nope. That's gonna get ugly either way, I think. Okay. Yeah, I really need to be subdivided and not be ugly. And I don't know if I'm gonna accomplish that. Point.
How you doing?
Good, man. Yourself?
Good.
Yeah, that's just gonna be too ugly. Ah! How many undos do I have? Oh, I got plenty. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. So if we go sub D except for those guys. Wait, I got a mystery point up here, don't I? Okay. Now if I do that, that one's okay. That one's okay. But then down here, it just all goes to pot. Yeah, see, that's not what I want at all. Alright. Might try and do this manually. See, now that one's good. That's what I want this other one to do. So I may have to do this manually. That's what I'm going to do. Alright, so we're going to go copy. We're going to do delete. It's kind of a pain, but this will work. So I go Control V. Do one like that, and that V. So then what I'm going to do is wire, texture wire. Okay. So then I'm just going to, manually knock this down the way I want it. Since when I did the triple of the polygons, it didn't do it the way I wanted. That's fine. So I'm just gonna manually go through. So got that one, and then I want to kill these guys. There. There we go. So I'm just manually making it go that shape that I want. Cumbersome, but it's still quicker than the other approaches I was taking and better results. So I did that one, I did that one, so now I need to do this guy like that. There we go. And just a couple more. Alright. Kill that. Kill that. Oops. Paste. This is part of his lower jaw cutting into it. I just hide it. Just gonna move it out of the way. Like so. There he goes. Okay. And then finally this last piece. Just to be safe, I'll still copy it over here in case I have to backtrack. There. Merge. There he goes. Okay, good. So that takes care of that nightmare. I still don't like that. Alright, I'm going to have to do a bandsaw, I think, in there. Alright. Once again, I'm missing my I'm missing my shortcut keys. At home, I just hit F6 and get bandsaw, but no. Now I get image editor. That's not what I want. Okay, so... Jeez, I don't even know where bandsaw is. Let's see. Is that under modify? Or multiply? Bandsaw Pro, but I don't want Pro. I just want bandsaw. Numeric. Yeah, fine. I'll use Pro. Able divide. Oops. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Can you tell I don't use the Pro? I always use the regular bandsaw. Numeric. Oh, I lost it. Okay. It turned it off. Okay. Enable divide. So that's what I want. Does that do it? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's better, but still not what I want. So, actually, I wanted to. I actually wanted to do on that guy, but it's not going to do a bandsaw on him because he's tripled. I don't think. Yeah, no, it's not. Let's see. Nah, it's going to hate that. Okay. I'm going to just do the shortcut way again. This is ugly, but it's fast. Copy. Paste. Whoa. Did that just nuke that? Look at that. Totally broke the UV on that one, didn't it? Merge. No points. So copy. Paste. Why is it funking up the UV there? Look at that. Come on, man. You're killing me here. Trying to give Lightwave some screen time and it's goofing up on me. Okay. Copy, delete, paste. Yeah, it's just totally busting that. Okay. How about if I do this? Copy, delete, paste. There he goes. Oops. Copy. Paste. Now it oh, come on. Now it breaks the centerpieces. This is not my night. Fine. There. Alright, there's no way you can... Oh, come on! Okay, Lightwave's not known for its high-end UV tools. That's just crazy. Okay, fine. I'll just... The whole way around. I'll just individualize these guys. There. Now they're all separate elements. Copy. Paste. And you're still doing it. Oh, you're absolutely killing me, Lightwave. Come on. You're just hating me tonight. It's not... I thought I, like, separated everyone. Separate. Oh. XV. Oh, there it is. You just really want to just do your own thing, don't you? All right. But then, if I reverse these guys, hit that. Yeah, I know. And yeah, that's just totally messed up. Okay, you know what? I think the only way I'm going to get around this is just trying to do a Photoshop fix, I think, at this point. Yeah. Ugh. Okay, let's check that out. Yeah, that mouth is looking terrible, but I think we will just rely on the wonderful world of Photoshop to make that not terrible. Okay. Well, for what was supposed to be a simple thing, lots of roadblocks tonight. Mercifully, I'm going to go for another 45 minutes and then pull the plug on this terrible, terrible fiasco of a session here. Yeah. Okay. I wonder if I should just move on. Let's go save him. Delete that, save him. Surface smooth. Yeah, and just at least take a look and see what this looked like. But yeah, that's just terrible. Oh man, that's absolutely terrible. Look at that mouth. Okay. Yeah, I could do the fix, or I could just do the fix over the weekend. And you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna stop down on the ogre. Another roadblock, but let me go ahead and switch over to the wizard. Maybe the wizard will be better behaved. So let me switch that back over. Okay, and we will send the ogre back to the showers. Let's go new. Bye-bye. Okay. So, crash and burn. So let me go ahead and load up the wizard. Idle high res. Alright. Let me get his texture applied correctly. Oops. Make the geo selectable. Texture there. Boom, 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 boom. Wizard texture. Got it. Wizard red. That's good enough. Okay, good. So he's looking pretty here. So let me go ahead and save this. Wizard. New folder. Idle poses. Hopefully the wizard will render better. Okay. Let me just find out. Do a quick test here. What I'll do is... Oops. Let me lock the geo again. Select all the controls. 0 everybody out. There he goes. Get the T-pose. Alright. What I'll do is just open the mouth since that's... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we can play with the... We can play with the wizard. And... Actually, let me undo because I want to... Since I'm going to have him holding his wand in his right hand, I want to reset all the values, but not on the hand because I already got that pose set up. And that's kind of a nice little grip. So I'm going to select everybody except the hand. So if I go like this, reselect that hand, and then come back to 0, and let me delete all back to 0. There it goes. There we go. Good. Got the T-pose. He snapped back to where he should, but then I still got him gripping the wand. So that's good. Cool. Let me do that. Alright. So let me go ahead and kill all these other keyframes from the idle animation because we're going to just do these individual poses that'll export out in Lightwave and render. Unlike the ogre, the wizard is going to behave nicely tonight. So, sorry, ogre, you get no love tonight. Okay, so now we got to come up with 5 interesting poses for the wizard. Let's start with a kind of like we were doing with the ogre. I guess we'll do a nice little yelling, charging kind of thing. Oh, you know what? Actually, I forgot the other thing I was going to do too is on the other ones I did do those additional things on the mouth where he can like do a smile. Do I want to... Let's see, but then with the wizard, because he's got that mustache that's hiding so much of it, I may actually just kind of skip that process. Because I don't even know if I could add those controls to the edges of the mouth. But the mustache is covering it so much, that might just be a waste of time. Okay, you know what? I'm going to leave it as is. Change it if I need to. Okay. Boop. Alright. Come back over to the Logitech device again. There he goes. Lean into it. There we go. Yeah, this could be fun.
Did you want something else, Stefan? Yeah, I can leave it. That whipped cream? Yeah. People just get it by the can?
Okay.
No whippets? People don't take whippets in the bathroom? You know what whippets are? What? Whippets. When you take the can and go. Yeah, he does that. Yeah, like dust off. You never heard that? You know what I'm talking about.
Okay. That's good. Okay.
I was joking about it. I think it's funny.
Oops. There you go. Something like that. That's pretty good. Let's see. Okay. So some of the poses I was doing with just like the upper body, but I may actually try and do something here where we actually get to see the legs. So I will take the time to pose these a little bit. Subject to change, of course. Actually, I'm going to hide the ground. There it is. I'll hide the ground. I don't care about that. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can send this out to the side. Just thinking ahead of how I'm going to pose the camera in Lightwave. Boom. You know what? I'm going to reverse it. Change my mind. I want this leg to be coming up forward, and I'll put the other one towards the back. Boop. Alright. And yeah, you can see the robe is cutting right through the legs, but let's see if I can. There we go. Cheat that. And then this foot we're gonna just send back. Might be able to see it like this. Maybe not. Let's see. Yep. Alright. I want to get that wand as far forward as I can. These little short cartoony arms, it's always a challenge to do something like that and not have it, of course, like cut through the hat, that kind of stuff. But actually, he has this bald head, so I can get away with this. Just really going crazy with that. Alright. Let me bring the elbow in. The shoulder. Oh, good. I do have this as parent constraint, which means I can drag that shoulder like crazy. I'm going to pull his shoulder out of socket. He's a wizard. He can take it. There we go. Ooh. Fix this slide. There he goes. Yeah, that might be a fun little pose right there. Let me see if I can get that foot to sneak in underneath. I think it might work. It's all trial and error. Alright. Oof. I get that hat so far down, it's going to be hard to get. Let's see. Oops. Oh no. Let's see if I can undo that. Maybe I can come back to my pose. Or did I just absolutely lose everything? I think I may have lost that. I did. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, so another interesting thing about Maya is it has this feature called auto keyframe, which is right here, which you know it's on when it's red. If it's not on, all that stuff you do goes away when you change frames. So there you go. That great little pose I had working on there, gone. Oh god. Yeah. It is Friday night. It is the last half hour of a very long week for me. Oh man. Or maybe that's Maya's way of telling me that it didn't like the pose and it wanted me to start over anyways. Alright. Wow. Crap. Okay. You know what? Actually, I'd forgotten the fact that I can stretch the body out too. I didn't even think about that. So, okay, maybe that was the case. Maybe that was just a situation where it needed to reset because it needed to be better. we can make it better, faster, stronger. $6 million wizard. Okay. Actually, do have a net control in there. Interesting. Alright. Sounds like the guys behind me are having a lot more fun than I am. Sorry about that. Oh, that's frustrating. I mean, it's better than like doing a whole scene and then having it not save and crash and losing a ton of work. I've had that before. Nothing's worse than saving, hitting Control S, and it crashes on the save and corrupts the file. Yeah, that's when you totally go insane. I had one a couple of years back. It was like it would crash on save like literally like 30 to 40, 50% of the time. So I was ended up doing like this A/B saving thing just so I could like not lose my work all the time. Especially if you're like, you know, a client, right? I mean, if you're contract hire, you know, they don't care the fact that you have issues. They just care about the fact you're not getting work done. And you're like, but it's crashing. Nah. Okay. But so now if I go like this, hey, look at that. It actually doesn't delete my pose now. Yeah, that happens though. Sometimes you do that where you actually start over and you end up doing a better job second go around. Hopefully that's the case. I mean, it was okay, that last pose, but let me see if I get a little curve going here. If I grab these guys just momentarily like that. Throw him over. Boom. Do this big old C curve like that. Yeah. Okay. I think it's already starting to look more interesting than the dead pose that we had before. Alright. Oh, excuse me. Alright, I really want to see how far I could push this before... Ooh, that's as far as that's going to go. Ooh. Ah, okay. That's cool. Let me try this. I'm going to just send the hand out as a counterbalance. Kind of throw it down to the side like this. You know what? I'm going to throw it way back here. Like that. Kind of extend the fingers out. Oops. Make sure I get everyone selected. Boom. There you go. Yeah. Whoops. I grabbed a control in the back there. That's not good. That's something too you got to be careful with Maya when you select a control and you kind of, if you click on it, that's one thing, but you can do a drag, but you can also select stuff behind it. So you'll do something where you'll look at a scene later and you just see an object that's completely in a different position, and that's when you realize that you accidentally grabbed it at some point while you're trying to adjust something in the foreground and you just completely mess stuff up in the background. Yep. Actually, that happened to me just like, what, yesterday? Day before yesterday? In my little contract work that I was doing. Luckily, I noticed it before before I went any further. But I've done that before where I noticed it way down the line. That will drive you nuts. Okay. Let's see if I can... Yeah, my weighting is not great on this. These are kind of quickly thrown together characters, so... That's still okay, I think. Alright, get that elbow tucked down that way. It's getting there, but not quite yet. Like that, maybe? Alright. I think I bought myself some more space here. There we go. Yeah, I can bring him even further forward. Something like that. have gone too far with the head here. It might be. Okay, I gotta do something different with the arm now. I like the head position better, but that obviously broke what was going on with the arms, so let me... Oops. Let me get that shoulder tucked back in. See the arm ripping itself apart here. That's okay, because we're going to bring this forward. It'll correct itself. Yep. Let's try that. And I'll fan the hand out a bit. Something like that. All right. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, it's starting to get away from me. I'm liking it a lot less now. Actually, that's kind of cool. Oh. Hey, it just went from total crud to not terrible. Alright, let me try this one thing here. Take this toe, bend that down. Yeah, okay. I'm going to save that. Alright, I think that's getting closer to something interesting. Let me try and bring this foot down, and I want to do something with this hand. But, oh, there we go. Alright, now we're starting to get an interesting looking pose. Very dynamic. I definitely think we're going to get the whole body in there, maybe. In that case, you know what? And if you've seen this stuff before when I worked on the poses, my biggest complaint has been the fact that because the icons are going to be like, you know, square, and these characters are so vertical. So I'm going to preemptively kind of throw this out here. There you go. Give myself like a little more stuff on the side happening. So try that. Alright. Boom, boom. So there's a good example. I was trying to grab the fingers, but you see how I grabbed the thumbs, so I had to deselect those guys. And actually, I'm going to zero them out. And then tuck them in. Oop, did I miss someone? Oh, I did, didn't I? Oops. Alright, they're being jerks. I'm going to just reselect. Huh. Okay. Why is he not actually doing anything? Huh. Broken. Okay, I'll let it slide. I'm going to just look the other way. I don't want to fix it tonight, but that's very broken. Should go like that. So, why does he not have... You know what? Okay, I am going to fix that. That's just bugging me. Alright, was that always broken? Or did I just somehow... No. Let's go show the joints. So he should be this guy. Finger ring base. He's controlling that. Yeah. Okay, fine. Go constraint. Rigging. Constraint. Parent constraint. There, that should make him obey. There we go. Okay, fine. that was a minor fix. I should have just shut up and done it in the first place. Cool. Alright, good. But let me clean this up a little bit. There we go. Like that. Alright. I'm going to try and bring this forward. See if we can get an interesting pose out of it. If not, I'll tuck it back underneath. Uh-oh. Alright, I need to really rip that shoulder out of joint so I can cheat that arm forward more. Like that. There he goes. That should buy me some more room. Alright, let me hide the controls. Get a better sense. Alright. Down like that. Good. Alright, I want that thumb to go a little further down. And then I'll throw it over Lightwave and give it a test render, see what that looks like. Yeah. Alright. I think that'll play. So let me save that. Geo. Okay. 20 minutes left. Alright. Should at least get one decent pose and render out of this tonight. So, he's all selected, saved, export. Hello. That'll pose, make a new folder. Wizard icon pose A. There we go. Alright, so let's take our terrible looking ogre. Dude, you're gone. Oh. Let's go file. Oops. Replace with object. The busted ogre is going away. You're going to replace it with our wizard. Where am I going? Idle poses. Export. There he goes. Much better. Okay. File. I'm going to save him as a Lightwave object. And then I'm going to bounce over to Modeler. Ugh. Look at that mouth. Man, that is just so messed up. Ogre, you failed me for the last time. Bye-bye. Okay. Alright, so we hit sub D. Uh-oh, we got some... We might have to fix that. Let's figure out how many... Oh, just 2. Oh, cool. Okay. So these guys... That's fine. We'll just triple them in sub D. They're hidden anyway, so I don't care. Not like the ogre's mouth. And I had that fell apart there a second ago, but... That's good. So we go surface. Although that mouth, rim, edge, that's not good. I may have to go back into Maya and adjust that, but fine. Okay, let's crank that up. Turn on the smoothing for both. Like that. Save it. There it goes. Cool. The VPR. Alright, so let's start playing with the camera position. See what kind of camera lens we got here. Properties. An 18. That's pretty wide angle, but this might be kind of a fun pose, so I'll leave it for the time being. Alright, let me go back over to Maya to see what that general pose was. Like that. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty close to that. Let me zoom in a bit more. um, actually, it might be too fish-eyed. I might have to actually adjust the lens here. Let me try. I'll punch it up to. Should I go 25 or 35? I'll go straight to the 35. I'm gonna be too close, but let me back up. Yeah, it's just so that 18, we were so fish-eyed that was distorting it. I think we're gonna lose some of that pose that I was trying to show. All right, so that hat is so big at the top. I think I'm just gonna like cut some of it off in the framing. Okay, and then I can play with the, try dutching it a bit here, which way looks interesting. I think this way is going to be more interesting. Okay. Let's see. Alright, and then of course lighting is totally hosed right now. That's just left over from my previous setup, but I'm not going to worry about the lighting. I just want to get a good camera angle first. And then I'll make the camera. Then I'll make the lighting not terrible. I think we could do better. Okay, you know what? Nope, I gotta stay on this side. If I go to the other side, it really makes it worse. You know what? I may have to come back. I may have to go a little more fisheye just to really distort it and give it a little more interesting angle here. Let's try that. You know what? Let's try this. Let's go underneath. See if we can get something dramatic from... Hey! Something like that might be what we're looking for. It's actually not terrible. Like that. Let's see. Do we push it more? Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I think when I change the lighting, you can actually see that lip stick out more. So I'm still going to have to go back to Maya, I think, and fix that. But good kind of yell pose, I think. Yeah. I think that might be it. Okay. So I'm going to leave my camera for the moment, and I'll start playing around with the lighting. Now, my usual trick is to come in and just kill all the lights. So I'm working off of just the ambient. I was at the mouth. I'm going to leave them. Yeah. I'm going to probably do the mouth first. So. Fill. There he goes. Good. So now we're just dealing with just the ambient, which is I have that gray dome behind it, and that's giving me this nice little kind of just basic globe kind of lighting. Then what I'll do is, first things first, I'm going to deal with the mouth. You see how dark the mouth is. So I've been doing this little cheat where I just throw a little, actually let me figure out where the light mouth actually is. Yeah, it's in the wrong place. Let me adjust him. Alright, so you lock into him. There he goes. Boom. Something like that. Yeah, I am in an internet cafe. I am 250 miles from home. I'm in Los Angeles right now for some freelance animation work that I've been doing by day all week, and then so at night I've been cruising over to a very nice little cafe here in Culver City called Blue Screen Gaming. So yeah, they're nice enough to help me get set up here. So I am far from home. I'm sorry, is that background noise just killing you? Or is it okay? 17. That's pretty good. But yeah, there you go. So everyone else is having fun playing games, and I'm trying to make a game. No, just wondering. Okay, cool. Okay, good. Yep, you guessed right. Okay, that's good. I think might be a little bright. Let me drop that. I just want the mouth to. The character looks great. Well, thank you. Thanks. I can't totally take credit for it. As I mentioned before, there's a very talented artist I know named Daniel Thomas who I hired to do the character designs. I did the characters originally. I wasn't really happy with them, so I got Daniel to sketch up some characters for me. Um, Amazing artist. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to hire him to actually make the characters for me, so I took his designs and actually modeled them based on his designs. But he just, with his initial artwork, it just makes it easy. Well, easier. Okay, so let me come back here. That's looking good. So let me go ahead and start playing with the lights. So let me come up to my key. Let me go like this. This is gonna be my key, so I want to throw him. Where do I want to put him? But yeah, thanks for the kind words. Yeah, I'll jump over here real quick, back into. I don't know if you saw this before, but this is one of 5 characters that you can unlock in the gameplay. I'll go maximize, so you can see it better. Come on, there he goes. So customize. There you go. So you have like the default warrior character, and then you have like the female warrior character, and then you have like the little kind of Gimli-esque dwarf character. You have the obligatory orc character, since we're in like a Middle Ages theme, and of course a wizard, right? You can't do a Middle Ages theme without having a total tough guy wizard. So that's it, and then ultimately the idea is my initial release of the game, I'm going to have this island as the initial island that you start with, but I'm going to introduce new island themes after the fact too. So I'm going to incorporate more. So I'm going to have entirely different themes. I want to do like, I've got a whole list. I mean, like, everything from like future world, aliens, like military, ninja, and maybe like a pirate theme, and all these different island themes. But at least on the initial release, this is going to be the first one. I just want to try and get out the door and judge the interest, see what you guys think. But it's going to be a free game. If you guys have Android devices, you know what? Here we go. I got to do the daily plug every time I come on. Check it out. So if you guys are Android users, you can come over to Google Play. There you go. And if you come over to apps and you go Volley Village. Volley Village. There he is, right there. This is, as I mentioned before, is a new build. My screenshots are outdated. I got to update those. I know I got to get around to that. But, excuse me. Yeah, I just did the update on the 9th, so this is a relatively new build. There's not much new yet, but it's a free-to-play game. Online, cross-platform, multiplayer, kind of like Angry Birds with a touch of Battleship mixed in, kind of tower defense, but it's real-time kind of stuff. Am I the founder? Yes, I am the founder, and at this point, only employee. I founded Scary Robot is the company. I founded it back in 2010. And Robot. There you go. This is excuse me. So I've actually released 5 games before. This is the game I'm currently working on. This is gonna be number 6. And then this is a prototype that I'm playing with, which is going to go through some changes in the future once I actually finish this one. But yeah, there's no thematic kind of idea on the games. I'm kind of like all over the map, but this one I'm kind of proud of. It's a kind of an interesting idea, I think. So it's here. I'll show you real quick in case you hadn't seen it before. So I say Angry Birds because you actually drag your finger back and you target. So you're going after the bouncing buildings, because the bouncing buildings actually power the force field of your opponent. So if you knock out all the buildings, force field goes down, you can hit the catapult, and it's game over. So, oops, and I'm playing like garbage tonight. There he goes. So, if that makes sense. You can see you can actually send out villagers. That's what the opponent, the AI, has done there. But the downside to sending out villagers is the fact that thanks. Thank you. The downside is, of course, he's now sent out half his villagers, which means that he has only 2 villagers on his catapult, so his reload times will take twice as long as mine. So I get to fire twice as fast as him. Now, on the plus side for him is that he can actually get buildings repaired, and I can't. But check this out. So you have these power-ups that pop up randomly. Whoever shoots it scores it. Oh, and I missed. Uh-oh. Do it again. There it is. Boom. Now you can see his villagers are asleep. So for 15 seconds, I can just wail away. I'm going to be a jerk and just reset his work there. There you go. And then take out this other building. And then what you traditionally do in an online game, nice, clean, artsy. Thank you. Thanks. So you can actually go after these secondary items, and the more stuff you destroy, the more coins you win in a match. So, and the nice thing is that, you know, even if you're losing, you know that the person that you're playing against is going to get greedy like this and start going after the secondary items, which gives you an opportunity to maybe sneak back into the match. But enough of that. I'm going to finish him off. Oh, I took out the sheep instead of him. Uh-oh. I got to do it before they finish that building. There it is. Game over. So that's the general gist of it. You start off these characters. Oh, and then the island sinks, and you can see they swim away, and the sharks chase after them. So that's the concept of the game. Neat. Oh, thank you. Thanks. And then I say Angry Birds meets Battleship because you can come over to customize, go in the layout, and then you can actually customize where the buildings go. So you get to do it. You can either do it like in a random mode like this, or you can clear it and just do it all one by one. Put it exactly where you want. With the exception of the launching tower, I forced you to one of these 4 spots for 2 reasons. You look really proud. Well, how about exhausted? This is 3 years worth of development, so, you know, and I'm getting close to getting it out the door, so part of it is pride, part of it is just be done already. But how much did it take you to make this? Well, time-wise, as I just said, I've been working on it for my first prototype. I produced 3 years ago, and I've been tweaking it ever since. But actually, I haven't been working 3 years full-time. I also do animation work, which is why, as you asked, you said you notice I'm in an internet cafe. I take animation work, and I live in Las Vegas, but I actually got some animation work in Los Angeles. So I am now in LA. So the animation work, the freelance work, comes up from time to time. And when that happens, I take it because it subsidizes my game development. So if you look at the actual time, there's probably about 1.5 years worth of actual development time. But that's been stretched out over 3 years because I keep getting freelance work. I've been doing animation for 20 years. I've been doing game development for 8 years full-time. 10 years that I've been playing with it, but 8 years full-time. But then the animation stuff is like literally 20 years. So that's why, you know, yeah. I don't know if it's pride or I don't know if it's just pure exhaustion. But either way, I mean, there's, you know, after 3 years of staring at it, you do get that forest for the trees syndrome. You kind of look at it and you hope that the game that you're trying to make is still in there. Do the other games get in revenue? Yes and no. I mean, my other games that I've released are pretty old now in comparison. I mean, the last game I released was well over 3 years ago, and some of the games have done pretty well, you know. But I mean, some of them just haven't really. I haven't done any new modifications to them because once again, just a one-person team. You know, it's just it's hard to stop down on the game I'm currently working on and go back and update games that I've previously made when I know that it may not generate a tremendous amount of revenue beyond what it's already done initially, you know. But yeah, so some of the games, My most successful, this is embarrassing, but my most successful is this game called Save the Titanic. Hey, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thanks. So this is my most successful title called Save the Titanic, which I literally made as a joke to crack my friends up. You're on the bridge of the Titanic. There's the wheel. There's the iceberg. You have 15 seconds to turn the wheel. That is literally the entire game. I did it in 5.5 weeks, and I put it out there, and it was a novelty thing, right? But it found its own audience and ended up getting, at this point, I think it's over 7 million downloads between Apple and Android, which is crazy because it's not the one that I was trying to. I mean, it was literally a small joke of a game for my friends. So, but that one actually did well for revenue for a while. But I mean, that's ages. I mean, Titanic's got to be at least what, 5-6 years old now, at least 5 years old. So, yeah. So it's just the games, when they've been out for that long, it's really hard to get any real revenue. What does my wife do? Well, okay. She is a 2D artist. She works back in Las Vegas, and she is a very talented 2D artist. And I do 3D. I joke, she's 2D, I'm 3D. But she doesn't work on the games with me. It's just, does she help with the games? No. We tried that initially and discovered very quickly that we could either be business partners or married. And I preferred married. So it was a little difficult. I know a lot of couples do that. They're able to work in a business relationship, and more power to them. And maybe it's one of the things, if we would have spent more time, we could have worked it out. But I think in the end it worked better if she just does her own thing and I do my thing. So, unfortunately, yeah, it sounds stressful. Yeah, you could say that. It's definitely, I think if you have really well-defined positions from the get-go, you know what you're doing and you know what your partner's doing, then I think it's a much more viable concept for us, since we're both artists. And I was still trying to do the art and the actual programming side and the whole design side. I think it was just a little too much to try and say, here, do this. So, in the end, it's, we're still married. So there you go. So I don't have a fellow married game designer with me, but I do have a wife. So, there's the trade-off. So, anyways, yeah, so this is one that I've been working on for a long time. The online multiplayer component is one that's really been the thing that's knocked me back in terms of development. I haven't done an online multiplayer game before, and getting it to work is not that hard, but getting it to work and deal with all of the nightmares that can come from an online game, that's the part that's really killed me. So, but I'm pretty close now. I mean, the things seem to be behaving nicely. But as I mentioned, if you want to give it a try, let me come back over here. If you come over to Google Play, you will find games. Let me cut right to it. Do a search for My Valley Village again. Sorry. Blatant plug. But there you go. So if you are a Android user, it took 3 years. I'm sure you've learned a lot in 3 years. Yeah, you have no idea. That is so true. And it's kind of embarrassing because, as I've been mentioning earlier, my coding skills have improved. Over the years, they've gradually improved, but just in the last couple of years, I've gotten much better because I've never really taken classes, either on the art or the programming side. I've just sort of winged it, I just find what everyone else does and kind of trying to learn. So it's kind of embarrassing, but the coding I do now is much better, and I look at the coding that is in this current game, and I really want to overhaul it, but it's just I can't. If I do that, man, it's just gonna delay the game more. So I just gotta leave it like it is, and just know that my next game I'm gonna make the code much cleaner and better and less embarrassing, because I mean I do show it when I'm working on it, but that's fine. I mean, it runs, you know. Um, it it's a challenge sometimes to find stuff, you know. Where did I put that? You know, lots of people just scrap everything over and over. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, I've been pretty good about that. I only have a couple of prototypes that I've stopped down on. Excuse me. And I mean, even those I still might revisit. I did one that simulated vector graphics, which is kind of cool, but I've tried twice to put the gameplay in it, and it just hasn't really gelled yet. But and then I had another one. Well, I have this other prototype too that I have listed. Oops, on my main page. This is one that I've just maybe like a month or two in development, but I'm I don't know. I mean, I'll definitely come back and revisit it. Um, but I've been very fortunate that I haven't gone down too many wrong paths in terms of development and had to start over. Um, Maybe that might have been a good idea on a couple of my games. In hindsight, that's probably the case. I might have been smarter to like stop down on a couple of them, but still learning. But I mean, and I once again I have the benefit. When I started doing the game development, I was doing it full time, and after a couple of years, I had a couple of games out that were doing okay. But then I started getting calls back in LA asking if I want to come back and do more animation work. So I have this perfect scenario where I'm still fortunate enough to get some freelance work to subsidize the game dev. So it allows me to do both. I still love doing animation, but you know, retreating to Vegas and living cheap there and coming back to LA and doing occasional work is sort of like a ideal scenario for sure. What do I animate? A lot of stuff on uh, television. Sorry, a lot of episodic television stuff. Not much in terms of movie stuff. Okay, you know what? I was gonna hold off on it, but I guess I'll mention it now. So Aquaman comes out in what, next week? I guess. See if I can find it here. But uh, let's see, videos. Here we go. Yeah. So if you, I don't know if you guys have any interest in going to see Aquaman in a couple of weeks when it comes out, but if you do, the movie was directed by James Wan, and if you look at his movies and his company logo, you will actually see my work. Here's one thing I did. This was actually a couple years ago I did this, but so here you go. So I actually animated, there you go, his company logo. Boom. So if you go see Aquaman, you'll actually see just a little bit of something I did there. Um, let's see. Right now I'm working, I can't really talk about what I'm working on right now, but I am working on a couple of TV shows by day. That's what I've been doing back in LA this week. Um, let's see. Sorry if this is redundant for anyone else that was listening that heard this before, but a year and a half, or what, last season, year and a half ago, I spent 6 months working at a company up in Burbank called Encore, where I worked on the TV series The Flash, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow. So that would have been Flash the second half of season 3. So if you watched any of the Flash stuff, then you may have seen some stuff I worked on. Oh geez, going back beyond that, I spent 8 months working on a video game that was being created by Jon Favreau, and then before that, oh man, a lot of commercials, different things. I mean, well, like I said, I started 20 years ago, but I mean, in LA, one of my first things I worked on, and this is 14 years ago now, like Battlestar Galactica. I animated the Cylons for the first couple seasons, and then Transformers, The War for Cybertron, the video game, Halo 3, I worked on that. Let's see, Fringe, CSI, Falling Skies, Sarah Connor Chronicles, animated Terminators. So, like I said, mostly a lot of TV shows and commercials and stuff like that. And a couple of video games. Impressive. Thanks. Thanks. Well, I mean, it's fun, you know, and I mean, I still love doing it, you know, but it's now I get to, you know, try my hand at still making the game stuff and still do the occasional animation work as well. So, like I said, really is an ideal situation. No complaints. I mean, it's you know, as my friend was saying the other day, living the dream. So, yeah, kind of a nice little setup that I got, and I hope it keeps going. You know, but at the same time, if I make a video game and it blows up, you know, and LA calls, I may say, sorry, busy. But so far that hasn't. I have not made the world's next Angry Birds yet. So until that happens, I will keep plugging away with my little dual life. So that's it. I hope that makes sense. Where did I leave off here? I was playing with the lighting on this guy. So yeah, so I'm making these little icon renders. So in the game, let me come back real quick. I don't know which point you came in, you may have missed it, but so you can actually unlock these little icons that you can use as your sort of like player personality. And it's this section right here. These are like placeholders. These are actually not the true icons, but so you can unlock these icons, and you can choose between the 5 different poses for each of the 5 different characters. And that's what I've been trying to get done. And right now I was working on the wizard. So I'm going to do like 5 different poses. Some where he's like, you know, happy, some mad, that kind of stuff. So that's what I was trying to work on this evening. And wow, it's already after 10. Man, okay. Well, I was going to go to 10, but I'll go a little bit longer. If you got any other questions about the video games or the animation stuff or whatever, shout it out. I'm happy to open book, man. I'm happy to talk about whatever you help me up. No. Hey, I appreciate you. I definitely appreciate the follow, and I definitely appreciate the conversation. I mean, if I have no one talking to me, I'm just talking to myself, and you know, kind of feel like I'm getting a little crazy after a while. So, no, please do not apologize. I appreciate the conversation, and I'm totally fine with the questions. But yeah, and I mean, I'm happy to share, you know, all the animation stuff I worked on. I'm happy with it. Yeah, it's been a fun thing to work on, and I still enjoy doing it. But yeah, it's been a great little setup that I got going. Okay, so actually, what was I doing? I was over here. Let me turn off the real-time rendering so I can see. So tweaking the lighting. Actually, let me take it back. Let me go ahead and turn this back on, because I'm going to play with this is my key. So I can bring this up to about 30, see if that gives me something good. I may actually put a little point light in here to fill in the darkness. But actually it looks okay. I'm going to crank this up a bit more. That's a bit hot. I'm going to bring that back down. About like so. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, and then let me bounce over. I remind you of Michael J. Fox a bit. Really? Okay. Well, part of it is because I've been working all week and I've been talking too much. But, okay, see if I can do this. Doc, are you trying to tell me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean? There you go. How's that work? Okay. Yeah, you like that? Oh, you gotta give me a minute here. Oh, jeez. Oh, this is heavy. Okay, you know what? Okay, fine. Since you mentioned Michael J. Fox, I gotta tell you my Michael J. Fox story. So, as luck would have it, I was actually in Los Angeles in 1985 when Back to the Future was released. Okay, so I went to the theaters and I saw the movie, and of course I was blown away. I mean, come on. Seeing Back to the Future in the theater was just insane. It was such a perfect movie. And I had a buddy of mine that got me onto the Paramount lot. And we were walking around, and, excuse me, the thing about that was spot on? Thanks. Yeah, it's about the only impression I do. I don't do much. I do that and maybe like Rod Serling impressions. But, so I'm on the Paramount lot. I wasn't born yet. But Back to the Future was my life as a kid, though. Okay, well, I'm dating myself, I know. So, so there I am, right? My buddy gets me onto the Paramount lot. We're walking around, and this is 1985. So, and there's summertime. And the summertime, at least back in this time frame, shows would all go on hiatus. They would have summer break. And so that meant that there's basically no TV shows that were even being shot at the time. But as luck would have it, they just did the Family Ties European Vacation. It was like a special episode that they went over to Europe and shot, and they came back and they decided to actually get ahead and start doing some shooting. So even though while most shows are on hiatus, they were actually there. Excuse me, back on the Paramount lot doing some new episodes. So we go to the cafeteria. We're eating lunch, right? And there, at the table beside us, right, we're sitting there watching, and then you can see the people walking in to get in line, right? And I'm watching, and then I see Justine Bateman and Tina Yothers. They're the two sister characters from Family Ties. And I see them walk into the line, and then I see Michael J. Fox coming behind them, right? And it's like, that's him, right? And I literally had just seen Back to the Future just days before, right? Excuse me. So we're sitting there, and then Justine Bateman and Tina Yothers sit at the table right adjacent to us, right next to us, right? Right there. Excuse me. And I'm going, they're sitting right here. That means Michael J. Fox is going to sit right there. He's going to be like right next to us, right? And he goes into the cafeteria, goes in the line, and he disappears. He never comes out. He never comes down and sits at the table. And I'm just scratching my head. And I'm like, my buddy's going, come on, man, we got to go, right? Just go on. We got more to see. And I'm like, but he didn't come out. And I finally give up, right? I get up, and they're walking ahead of me, right? So I'm like backpedaling, walking backwards, excuse me, scanning all the tables in the cafeteria, and I can't see him. And I'm falling behind, right? So he's walking out the back door, and there's like a patio area in the back, right? Excuse me. And I finally give up. Okay, I don't see him. And I turn around, and I'm looking out of the patio area, and there, in the corner, sitting by himself in the patio area, is Michael J. Fox, sitting at the table by himself, right? And he's got his food, right? And I swear, he's like, okay, like, you're me, right, in the corner, right? So he's like this, and he looks up and he goes, oh, hey, come here, like that. And I'm losing it, right? And I start to take a step. I'm like about to go that direction, and then out of the corner of my eye, this beautiful blonde is standing right behind me. And I look, and she walks right by me and starts heading toward the table. And it's kind of like, I knew that. I knew that. I knew that. And I just kind of casually walked away. But somewhere in some parallel universe, the other version of me walked up to the table. I know it, man. Just in some parallel universe, walked up and just going, hey. And Michael probably looked up to me and went, no, I just sat down, man. I haven't finished yet. I'll let you know. Thank you. Okay. So thankfully, in this universe, I did not embarrass myself. Almost did. So there you go. There is my Doc. There is my Back to the Future story. So that is my Michael J. Fox story. But yeah, funny guy, man. Funny guy. He had Back to the Future. He had Family Ties, Spin City. Yeah, great story. Thank you. Totally true too. Okay, and actually in the same vein, this is funny because in the same situation, so we're walking around more, right? And we walk into the gift shop, excuse me, and once again, small place, right? We're there, and Tina Yothers is there, right? And at this point, Tina Yothers is still pretty young, so she was there with her mom, right? And my buddy, who's trying to impress, I guess, right? So he walks over, and he says something to Tina Yothers. I don't remember what he said. Something trying to be like all inside Hollywood, right? Like I know what I'm doing, right? And he's trying to be cool, right? Tina Yothers' mom turns to him, and without missing a beat, she looks at him. She goes, "Are you part of a tour?" In other words, go away. So, not like I relished his embarrassment, but better him than me, right? So, so there you go. There is my official Michael J. Fox 1985 Back to the Future story right there. So there you go. So yeah, I even it's funny. So I go to Comic Con and I actually have a full Marty outfit. I mean, I even have like I found it on Etsy. I found a the orange vest that is not like some remake. It's the honest to God like true came from the '80s vest. So I have that. I got the jean jacket. I got the earphones. You know, I even got the glasses, and I even had the little Casio watch. Which, by the way, I've said this before, but it drives me nuts. If you're a Back to the Future watcher, this still bugs me. So in the scene where he's with Doc, right? He's got the camera, and Doc's telling Marty to roll it, right? And he tells him we're in Twin Pines Mall, and he says the time is I think it's what 12:15, and Marty looks at his watch, right? He looks at it, and of course, I mean, he looks at it. And I guess the time is wrong or something. But what does he do? He goes like this. He goes like this, shakes it. It's a digital watch. It's not like an analog watch where you wind or shake. So it's one of those things that I don't know if they ever thought about that, but I always thought that was kind of funny. It's kind of like, dude, Marty, that's not how Casio watches work, you know. So, yeah, but that's my way of saying that I've watched. Think about this now. Yeah, I'm sorry, I did. I kind of ruined that for you, didn't I? So next time you watch that, you're just gonna go, oh, now I totally see it. Now you cannot unsee that. Every time he shakes his wrist, you're gonna go, yeah, there it is, there it is. Yeah, but that's just my way of saying that I've seen that movie way too many times, way too many times. I mean, I love it, man. Robert Zemeckis, and Bob Gale, they just made such a perfect movie. It works out so well. And there's just so many gags. I mean, you do know about the Twin Pine Mall gag, I'm assuming, if you've seen Back to the Future that much. But it's what Bob Gale and Bob Zemeckis do the best, is they set up gags and they pay them off like an hour and a half later. You probably do, but I mean, if you know it, I'll stop. But I love it because it. Excuse me. In the beginning of the movie, he goes, Marty, meet me at the Twin Pine Mall at precisely at midnight, right? And then Marty comes up, right, and he rides his skateboard up, and you see the Twin Pine Mall's sign, right, that goes in front of the mall and the little clock, right? And of course, Marty goes back in time, right? And Doc is talking about, he goes like, I remember all those years ago, this is old farmland. Old man Peabody had some crazy idea about breeding pines, right? And then of course the Libyans come, and then he has to jump in the DeLorean, and Marty goes back in time, right? And then of course Marty goes in the barn, and he gets confronted by old man Peabody, right? And he jumps in the car and he drives off. And as he's driving off, he runs into the tree. There's like two trees with a little fence around it, and he runs over one of these little trees, and you hear old man Peabody screaming, "My pine!" And he fires a shotgun and he hits the mailbox, right? He runs over the tree. So when Marty comes back to 1985 and he comes back to the mall, he runs up to the sign, right? And then you're focused on the fact that you can see in the background the Libyans shooting Doc. But if you look at the foreground, at the sign that Marty's standing in front of, it now says Lone Pine Mall. So that's a long story to explain, but I love the fact that they set up this gag that 99% of the people never even noticed, Twin Pine Mall, runs over the tree, comes back, and then it's Lone Pine Mall. But that's what I'm saying. Bob Gale and Bob Zemeckis, man, they are the kings of setting up jokes that they don't pay off until way later, And that's just one classic example of it that I just thought was fantastic. But there you go. Me and movies, man. If you get me started on movies, I'll just keep going. But yeah, especially Future, man. Back to the Future, I just way too many viewings on that one. What is that? Let's see. There you go. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, there it is. And that it's so subtle, right? Because, like I said, because of the fact that you're looking in the distance and you see the Volkswagen van, right? And you see, Doc throwing away the gun, and you're just focused on that, But that's just such a perfect setup. And I mean, it's, a lot of them are more obvious, but and then of course, Back to the Future 2, when he goes in the 80s cafe and he plays the video game, which is foreshadowing of what's to come in Back to the Future 3, but you missed the 90s. I missed the 80s, but I date myself. But if you go back and watch Back to the Future 2, one of the two little kids, when he goes, wait, you have to use your hands? That's like a baby's toy. That's what the kids say. One of the kids is actually Elijah Wood. That's like one of his very first roles. It might have actually been his first role. It was the Red Rider movie. I'm not sure if that was before or after, but might have been one of his very first speaking roles. But yeah, I mean, a cute little Elijah Wood. Actually, I could probably find that. Elijah Wood, Back to the Future. Google makes it way too easy. Let's go images. There you go. So there you go. There is a very... Oops. Where's my... There you go. There you go. There's a very young Elijah Wood in Back to the Future too. Yep. Oh man. Yep. Love that. Love the series. I even like 3. I like the Western one too. So. Oh man. Okay. So I guess at least try and finish this one shot. Sorry. Yeah. I start talking about movies. I'm done. Okay, I got my fill light. Actually, the fill light's in a pretty decent position here. Whoops. I got the fill light. Am I not? Only part I don't like is the future part of Back to the Future 2. Oh, really? I thought that was fun. I thought it was interesting because Back to the Future brought up the point of what happens if you do mess, with the, with the timeline, and I mean, the Biff part. The fact that he kind of radically changed from the end of 1 to the beginning of 2. A flying DeLorean? Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a strange instant character change. That was a little funky. I guess it was kind of scary as a kid. Yeah. Well, I mean, like when he ends up hooking up with Elaine, and taking out his dad, but that was Crispin Glover's fault. Crispin Glover, who played Marty's dad. I don't know if you know this, but apparently Crispin Glover went up to Bob Gale and Bob Zemeckis and said that I'm as big of a star as Michael J. Fox is, so I want to get paid the same amount that Michael J. Fox gets paid for the sequel. And they went, no. And he said, then I'm leaving. So he did. So then they had to write the entire story around the fact that they didn't have... yeah. So they didn't have Crispin Glover, Crispin's always kind of a strange character to begin with, I guess. But, and then they shot around it, and they actually found the double, which is funny. Actually, so they had a double actor, right, that they dressed up as the George McFly character, and he was great in the Pirates of Silicon Valley. Yeah, he's a good actor. He's just kind of out there, I mean, I love him, right? It's kind of like, hey, you, get your damn hands off her, I'm your density, Yeah, I mean, he was perfect in that role. But I think he's a little out there. I mean, I don't know if you ever saw the footage of him on David Letterman show, where it seemed like he was having a total meltdown. But so I was saying that so I was at a convention in Las Vegas, and I was dressed up in my Marty McFly outfit, and I don't have the picture with me. It's back home, unfortunately, but I have a picture with the guy that was the substitute, right, for Crispin Glover. So I'm dressed in the Marty outfit with the fake George McFly stand-in. They had him in old age makeup to try and like hide it, but that's, I mean, what are you gonna do, right? When your actor doesn't want to do it. you gotta work around it. So, yeah. All right. I'm still trying to do some work. Yeah, I'm still trying to be somewhat productive. But, oops, where's my rotation? Why am I not? Let's see. Did you see the shots from when they had that other actor? That other actor was Mask. The star of Mask. Where's my brain? Bodies Rest in Motion. I'm going through his. He played Mask, Bodies Rest in Motion, and I am blanking on his name, but it'll come back to me in a second. Eric Stoltz. Eric Stoltz. Yeah, Eric Stoltz. Yeah. So that's kind of a strange thing, wasn't it? They shot like several weeks worth. So once again, I'm totally showing my my total geekdom on Back to the Future. They actually wanted Michael J. Fox to be in the movie, but the problem was is he was still making Family Ties, and the way the scheduling worked, it would not work for him. So they reluctantly went with Eric Stoltz, and after 3 weeks of filming, Eric Stoltz is a fine actor, but he's not lighthearted comedy. You know, how it would have been with him instead of Michael J. Fox. It would have been darker. It would have been much darker, I think. Yeah, I mean he's you know, Eric Stoltz is much more of a kind of a morose kind of performer, right? A very internal, kind of dark and edgy. So they did it for 3 weeks, and after 3 weeks, Bob Zemeckis just went, you know what, this doesn't work, which has got to be tough, man. So he goes up to Eric Stoltz and he goes, you know, you're gone, and they turn to Michael J. Fox, and they said, you have the role, and he goes, but I'm still doing Family Ties, and he goes, we'll work around it. So Michael J. Fox would do Family Ties all day, and they would like jet him to the set, and he would shoot all night. So a lot of the stuff they shot initially was like nighttime footage, and he would just, you know, he would try and sleep on the plane for, you know, like an hour or two, but he would just talk about how he was so exhausted that he had no like idea what he was doing, and he was like going up to Zemeckis and apologizing, and he goes, I'm sorry, I'm like, I don't even know if this is even acting, and Zemeckis is like, no, it's perfect, you know. So I think it's kind of cool because some of that, you know, I mean that when he's in 1955, he's like all distressed and freaked out, but part of that I think is just because he's physically exhausted, you know. So I think that works well for the character. Crazy Coke 80s. Are you saying like the white powder version, or are you talking about like the flavors of Coke we had back in the 80s? I'm not sure which, but you know, probably either might be apropos. But yeah, so I mean that's I mean, poor Eric Stoltz, the white powder. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Michael J. Fox did that, or I'm not sure. He might have been just crazy enough just to do it naturally, but yeah, in the 80s, who knows? I mean, it was definitely all around. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of a tough thing for Eric Stoltz, I think, to, you know, the would have been, you know. But I mean, that happens a lot. I mean, there's how many times you have like other people that are supposed to be in a movie, right? And then ends up being someone else. I mean, I think I mentioned it on one of my other streams before, but excuse me. I mean, Beverly Hills Cop made Eddie Murphy, right? I mean, Trading Places introduced him, but Beverly Hills Cop is the thing that put him on the map. But it was actually Sylvester Stallone. They made Beverly Hills Cop for him, right? But then he either didn't want to do it or couldn't do it, and then they just went, okay, let's try Eddie. You know, he's available, and make it a little different. But, you know, I mean, that stuff does happen, you know. Going to, okay, Michael J. Fox. We'll go down that rabbit hole again. What do you say? Michael J. Fox was not originally cast in Family Ties. It was actually supposed to go to Matthew Broderick, but Matthew Broderick was too busy doing Biloxi Blues on Broadway, and he ended up turning it down. But there is footage, I'm sure you can Google it and find it on YouTube, of Matthew Broderick actually doing the performance of Alex B. Keaton's character, right? And it's totally different, right? I mean, it would have been a totally different show. You know, the way Michael J. Fox did it, Alex is the quintessential capitalist of the 80s kind of, you know, greed is good kind of character, but the way Matthew Broderick was doing it was completely like Ferris Bueller, much more laid back, you know. So, I mean, you can imagine that would have just been a totally different feel altogether. But, you know, I mean, it's fortunate for him. Yeah. But, yeah, Family Ties, I mean, it made Michael the superstar for sure. But great shows. Great shows. I haven't watched a episode in years and years, but my guess is it probably still holds up pretty well. All right, so what I was trying to do is actually rotate. Let me go for. Oh, because I wasn't in light mode, was I? Ah, that was it. So this is my fill light. I get him pointed down. Whoa. All right, I just want to get this fill in position. Something like that. Okay. Let me try that. All right, I got the fill light. I'm going to boost that 40. Oh, that might be a bit hot. 30. So, a bit of a challenge here. I'm trying to get this darkness filled in, but then still not let the white beard just get totally blown out. So, drop this down to 15. Yeah, and then what I might do is just add a little point light right here just to cheat that and get a little more fill in there. But I still like the pose. I think the pose is kind of fun. Alright, so I'm going to come back to here and go to texture solid. What's going on, people? A couple more people dropped in. How's it going? So, trying to make poses for some icons that are going to go in my video game. Just doing some 3D character poses. Sorry. Oh, you know what? I need to add file. Let's see. Go create. Ooh, items. There we go. Lights. Do a point light for this. Say hat fill. There he goes. Okay. So I'm gonna take this guy. I'm gonna do, and this is a total cheat. This is an absolute total cheat, but we do this all the time. Boom, and I'll fill that right in there. There you go. Something like that. And then I'm gonna come back here, and this is gonna be blown out here for a second. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought it'd be. Alright. I'm gonna turn on linear fall off and put this up to like 30. Oh, try 60. Really push it up. Alright, I'm going to turn off the shadows because I just want to do some illumination. I don't want this point light to actually cast any shadows. But, that's right. You know, I'm going to crank this for a second just to make sure. There it is. Okay, I'm a little out of place. That's why. So I'm going to bring this down, push it back a little bit. There it goes. Okay. Drop that back to 50. I want more than that. Try 70. Yeah, 75%. There we go. Actually, I got a weird banding going on there. That might be one of the others casting some funky shadows. Let me check my other. Let me check my fill light. He's doing ray trace. Let's see if he's the culprit. Nope, I still see that. You see that weird banding? I'm trying to figure out who's doing that and fix that. So, see, it's the key light. Nope. You know what? Actually, I hate to say it, that may actually be embedded in the texture. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna just turn off all key, ray trace, kicker, ray. Oh, unless it's the mouth light. No. Hat fill. Interesting. Yeah, I think that might just be the texture. Yeah, that is completely. I'm trying to fix something I cannot fix. That's embedded in the texture, so I would have to just fix that in Photoshop. That's fine. There's no way I can fix that just from the lighting, so let me turn on the shadows for these guys again. Ray trace. Whoa, what happened there? Whoops. Oh, I moved the camera somehow. How did I do that? Huh. That was interesting. You see it? You saw that, right? I'm not going crazy. I know I'm tired, but I swear he disappeared there for a second, but he's back again. Okay. So let me just... That's not what I want. I want my light settings here. Yeah. Yeah, okay, good. Good. I have witnesses, so I'm not going nutty. Key. I'm going to turn the ray trace for the key light and the fill light. And then kicker. So the kicker light I use just to throw on a little accent, you know, that like shading on the back end. So I want like on the shoulder would be nice. So before I crank it up, I'll actually try and pose this kicker light a bit. So let me come back over here. 5. The kicker light. Texture solid. There he goes. Good. So I want to get over this shoulder on the side over here. Try that. Kicker light. Boom, boom. Light intensity. And this one I'm going to crank up like crazy. There we go. See that? Those nice little edges? That's what I was trying to create there. Yeah. Ooh, that hand's awfully glowy. Let me go ray trace. No, it's actually hitting that light. It's the hat is blocking it, so I'm gonna let that go. First, I'll try and dial it down, see if that makes it better. If not, I may just do a range adjustment to try and make it so it doesn't reach the hand. Yeah, that's gonna. I'm gonna bring it back up because I like the highlights here. That's kind of cool. But then what I need to do is basic. Oops. Oh, because his distant light, I can't actually limit his distance. Okay. Let me just see if I could tweak it this way. Nope, that's not helping it. Like that. Nah, that hand is just absolutely glowing. Okay. I'll turn on. Yeah. So this is my kicker light. Something like that. 6. Alright. I'll go back to that and I will just reduce the... Just get a little bit. I mean, if I wanted to, I could just do a separate render like this and just put the hand in there, but I'm trying to go simple, so I'll just leave this like it is. And actually, this is because I've turned off the shadow tracing for this kicker light. It's kind of illuminating the mouth, so I'm gonna knock the mouth, that cheap mouth light, down again. Did you implement shaders yourself? Excuse me. You're talking about the shaders in here? I did the texturing, so it's a UV texture. So if I come up to like my image editor, there you go. So yeah, I mean I did this, which is just basically going. Oh, in the game. Oh no. For the game, actually, let me save this. Yes. Let me turn that back off. No, excuse me. Here we go. So I'm actually using a 2D shader called Toony. Toony Pro, I think it's called. So let me bring in a character here. Bring in that mascot here. There he goes. So I'm using this thing that's great for doing these little toon shadings. Let me come down a bit. There he is. This guy. It's Toonicolors Pro. It's my favorite thing. I've used it on like my last 3 or 4 games that I've done. I always use this thing. It's just, it is so slick. This incredible amount of range, and I'm not even using much of it, right? Because once again, I'm aiming for mobile devices and like maybe some older mobile devices, so I'm not putting all the bells and whistles on. But yeah, it's cool. I agree. I think it's really cool. It's here, and it's, I think it's relatively cheap too. I like low poly toon shading. I do too. Toonie Pro. There we go. Was it $35? I think he sells it for. Let's see. Oops. Stop. $40. Okay, he's $40 now. But and then the water too. Actually, the water that I'm using in my game came from this little plugin as well. But yeah, it's just because I'm competing with games that have a lot bigger budgets and a lot more people besides just one person, of course. So I think that going toon in that kind of fashion is definitely a way to improve your chances in terms of getting accepted. Now, having said that, actually, I'll tell you something that is different. Here you go. Oh, I don't want maximize. It's gonna do it. There you go. So the buildings are actually, if you can see this, they're actually 2D sprites. So for that, they're actually pre-made little sprites. Now in this case, this is actually all me. So I model the objects in Lightwave, render them out as gray shaded objects, and I let Lightwave produce the lighting shadows. So I have these accurate shadows, and then you thought they were 3D. Good, that was the hope, right? And then I took them into Photoshop and just painted the toon shading on top of them. So it was kind of a multi-step process. I don't think I have the assets with me, but it's kind of cool. If I ever want to go back, I can actually load up the objects and switch it out for real 3D objects. But the benefit is I get, you know, that it looks like geometry, but it's literally only just a quad. So actually in this case I will go. There you get a better sense of it. So now that I've told you, you know, since I let you behind the curtain, I can maybe get a sense of, maybe it feels more like 2D sprites. But I mean, the nice thing about it is, you know, I get all this detail, right? But without having to, like, if it's a 3D object, there'd be a ton of polygons to be able to hit all those edges, you know, all that geometry and that shape, you know. And it just, on a mobile device, that would start to rack up after a while. So the gist of it is anything that doesn't move, like the you know, the sheep, the corn, and the hay, and the buildings, anything that doesn't rotate. Yeah, now it feels more 2D. See? Yeah, see? Look at that. I ruined that. I ruined the sprites, and I ruined the watch for you. Look at that. I am the spoiler tonight, aren't I? It's just, I'm just ruining everything. So but yeah, if I do a desktop version for PC and Mac, I could go back and actually do proper geometry for those, you know, because there's a lot more horsepower. Here we go. I hit this power up so I can put them to sleep. Boom! Now they're snoozing for 15 seconds. So yeah, it was just it was an idea. So anything that actually rotates around, like the sharks. Oh, I missed them. You can actually shoot the sharks, and it makes them jump up like that. There you go. So anything that moves around, like the characters, of course, are all 3D objects. The catapults are, and then the launchers that you get are 3D objects. I gotta go play some fun with friends Was yeah. Hey, well, thanks for coming around, and thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that for the subscribe. I will be back Monday night. I hope you guys. I hope you can come back and join me again. But yeah, I enjoyed the storytelling, man. So thanks for hanging out with me. And I'm way past my time, so I should be shutting down. I'm tired. So thanks. Appreciate it. All right. Thanks for coming around. Hope to see you again. Bye-bye. All right, I'll shut this down. Okay. So, I'm going to just save this all out. I'm going to wind down. I'm tired. So, yeah, I'm 10:48 my time. 10:48 p.m. And I was up at 7 this morning, so I'm starting to fade. So, let me see. I'm going to just... I'll leave this like it is. I'm just going to save this out and then wind it down. So, there you go. Okay, you know what? That's a perfect time to say goodnight. So, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate that. And for anyone that comes and watches the videos after the fact, thanks for giving a look. I'm here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to miss next Wednesday because I'll be flying home for Thanksgiving. But I'll try and come back on Friday night. I'll be back at home, so I'll be working off of my machine, which means that I'll probably crash until I actually upgrade my machine. But in the meantime, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking out my stuff. Please join me on Discord. I've been better about having Discord up, so if you want to chat with me on there, I'm available there on my off hours. If not, come back around here again. I'll be doing this for this schedule for at least a while, at least while I'm doing the freelance stuff in LA. Once I get back home, I may adjust the schedules a bit more. But, you know, until then, thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I hope you check out the game. Go to Google Play and look for Volley Village. You can actually see the beta version on there. I hope to have the full game out in the very near future. But in the meantime, give it a look there. If you don't have Android, you're not an Android user, you can go to Volley Village, the webpage. There you go. And you can actually play it in a web browser. It plays fine. It's an older version, but it still works nicely. I'm going to mute the mute site so it doesn't blare my ears here in a second. But, so yeah, try to download the game there. It's a free-to-play game. It should be pretty fun. Or give it a try on the web. You can actually play 2 players on the web browser version. You can have one person that plays with the keyboard and one that plays with a mouse. So, yeah, it's pretty similar. This is the old control technique, which I had where you drag towards the center. I've switched that back to like pulling back like Angry Birds. But, yeah, and the firing is like super slow. I sped that up a lot faster. But so give it a try. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. For the other people that just jumped in, sorry about that. I'm fading. It's 10 to 11 here, and I've been up since way early, so I'm just gonna start talking stupid. But thank you guys, and hope to see you on Monday. Until then, you guys take care, and I hope to see you soon. Adios.